opening day, deer season for the rifle, and I'm stalking this buck. I've been pushing him for, it's about a mile. And he's clever. He's keeping a good 800 yards ahead of me. Just cleared a ridge way out there past the shade, and that's over 1,000 meters away. He's a good sized buck. I gotta keep moving. The wind's in my favor, so if I move fast enough, I can sneak up on him the next time he stops to eat. So, wish me luck. So the funny thing about hunting, guys, when you're using gear, watch it, because it can fall off. I noticed just a minute ago, just starting that my hat was missing. About 300 yards behind me. So, I'm off. Okay, I shouldn't be stopping, but I want to show you his sign here, so you can see what I'm looking at. Those are his tracks. He's so big, he's putting his dew paws in there. So, and he sank a good inch deep. Let's get him. Okay, I found him. He hasn't made me out yet, but he's in a good spot where I can't get him. He's too open. I can't get to him without being seen. Okay, past those blades of grass. Center screen, there's some black dots. There's 1, 2, 3. Third one on the right, which is close to another one. That's my buck. Let's see if I can get on him. Alright. So, I had a shot. It was right at the limit of the range I'm comfortable shooting at. But he just stood there like he didn't have a care in the world. Looked around for a little bit, and then just walked off. And I pushed where the herd walked. Busted the doe, and what I thought was another doe, but turns out it was just a young buck fork. But the big buck is nowhere to be seen. Those other two, when they busted me, they came up, walked around the hill, and tried to get downwind of me. As soon as they got downwind of me, they knew I was there. So I'm hoping that if he's not here, he's circled back with them before I could see him, and that way I can, oops, don't fall. That way I get an idea of where to go look for him next. I don't even see his footprint, so I got the trail from the other two deer though, so let's see. Let's go looking. Well, okay. I've been pushing this deer for a good long while, and he busted me, so he's gone. Now, that's not to say I'm giving up. I've followed his tracks out into the flat plains here, where you can see it's fair chase, I guess. More fair for him sometimes than for me, I guess. But hey, that's what they call it, hunting and not getting. If they call it getting, a lot more people would do it. Alright, so we're going to go and drop him off. He is a very large body deer. Pretty big. Really good side spread right here. This is the one my buddy got. So, but it's starting to warm up. So we're going to go ahead and take him in, have him hung up on the rack so he can be cool. And then we're going to come back out. It's day 2. Yesterday was a lot of pushing, a lot of walking. But we ended up getting pushed out by other hunters that just, they saw us there, but they didn't care. So we ended up moving on back today. It looks like that buck is still around. So we got set up, and right now we got a couple of does about 300 yards off. And we have 4 bucks, about another 500 yards. Kind of walking around. One of them's okay, but he's not the buck I'm looking for. Right now, just doing a slightly different approach. We got a bunch of hunters out, so we're going to let them push the herds towards us. We'll see if it works. Okay, so we're still pushing, looking for our game, and I wanted to show you guys something that's pretty cool out in this area. This area is notorious for prehistoric finds, dinosaur bones, etc. And one of the areas in particular used to be this massive forest. What we see in front of us are a bunch of rock formations like this. But if you look at the rock, this is actually a thick layer of tree bark. This here, if I can pull back, is actually what's left of a giant tree. And there's another one over there. There's another one right there. Another one over there. Several right there. And usually when you find these, you also find dinosaur fossils, shells, stuff like that. A good friend of mine actually found it was a Triceratops skull, and then after the museum and them took a look at that, they went out and he found an entire T-Rex. It's pretty cool. So anyway, gotta go find that buck. Okay, this one you get a better idea of the tree bark, and you can get an idea of how thick it is, because there you go. These were behemoths. As a hunter, I believe in ethical practices, and that means getting out, hunting your animal, getting on foot, and actually working for your meat. I cannot stand unethical practices. I'm about to show you someone doing one if I can zoom in enough. It's hard to see, but there's a vehicle along that skyline there. That is the unethical hunter. He's what we call a ridge runner. He's driving inland where you're not supposed to be driving, running across all these ridges here, scaring up the deer that we've been tracking for freaking hours. No, we've actually been tracking for freaking days. Let's see if he saw something. He might get out and start popping shots. He just noticed us, and now he's trying to drive out of here really fast. Got onto that county road up there. For those of us who live a subsistence lifestyle, this can be very frustrating. For those of us who actually enjoy the sport of hunting and abide by the rules set forth, those guys, they're just out there to ruin it for us. And right now, that jackwagon is circled back around onto another county road. He's pushing the herds out of the area. And all he's doing is he's looking for his big buck. He doesn't care about the meat, doesn't care about the sport, doesn't even care about preserving the species. He just wants the big horns on his wall. Well, thanks, buddy. Thanks for screwing the rest of us. This scene would be so cool right now if we had a deer. You know what the good thing is about this area? There's not one ridge runner out here. The bad thing is, I don't think there's a deer out here either.
There it is.
So we got in, well, it's 5 a.m. and we saw the buck as we were driving in. He actually crossed the dirt road right in front of us. So down to where we were going to set up anyway. And waited till first light and spotted him about a mile off. So he's moving to an area he's comfortable with. Last I saw, I'm pretty sure it's him. Been keeping an eye on him for the past couple weeks. And, that's one of his favorite little holes. Alright, so today being the third day, I have very little time. I got obligations at home. I chased this last deer for a mile again, and there's a river with a ford in it. The biggest buck made it across the ford. But hey, he's got a little buddy. I went for him today. So, and it's awesome because he's a 3x4 muley. He doesn't have this, he's missing one brow tine, which is awesome. He's not ginormous. He's not gonna be freaking Boone and Crockett, but a lot of meat, more than a doe. And I worked hard for him. I'm happy. So I'll go ahead and clean him up and then take him home and process him. So, later.